In part 1, we told you how our Vodus were taken into exile, locked away in a German museum for more than 100 years. But here's what most people don't know. Carl Spies didn't just take a few objects, he collected over 350 so-called spiritual items from our towns. I know what you are thinking. If these Vodus were so powerful, how could one man just walk in and take them all? Well, the truth is, not everything he carried away was actually a voodoo. Some were ritual leftovers, ebos or vosas meant to be destroyed to ward off misfortune, never meant to be touched again. And some of the things he carried away were nothing more than empty clay. Because what makes a voodoo truly a voodoo are the herbs and sacred elements inside. Many times, priests will bury the real voodoo deep in the ground and only build a clay figure on top to mark the spot. Speech didn't seem to know this, so often he broke off the figure and carried it away, thinking he had taken the voodoo itself. But the true voodoo remained underground, alive and untouched, with a new figure later built over it. And some of the people whom Speech converted to Christianity handed over their voodoos willingly. But when it comes to some of the real voodoos he did manage to take, the exact way he obtained them isn't always clear. Papa believes that Speech himself may have been initiated into some of the voodoos he took. Why? Because certain voodoos would never be handed over to someone unless they were initiated. There's even a story that after Speech's death, his wife brought one of the voodoos to the museum. That voodoo had been in their home all along, a protection voodoo. During the Second World War, when houses around them were destroyed by bombs, Carl Speech's house remained untouched. Now, African Magic Temple is not here to expose sacred secrets. Our role here is to be the voice of these voodoos and to teach the group and the people who come to our conferences what voodoo truly is. Voodoo is a neutral force. The one who possesses the voodoo decides whether to use it for good or for harm. It's no different from a knife. In one hand, it can prepare food to feed a family. In another, it can take a life. It is the knowledge of how to use the materials of nature to harness divinity for the good of the community. And that is why we the Ewe say, Amayenyehu.
My name is Christopher from Kudupi, the founder of African Magic Temple. In every cosmology, nature is God, and God is nature. Because no one has seen any being called God, and God has expressed itself in nature. So when the Ebe says Amma, Yenyo, means whatever you see in the world is what is God. You who is sitting there, you are God. That's why when the Hindu says Namaste, they say, I'm saluting the God in you.
Voodoo is not just a word, it is a philosophy. The word comes from two Ewe words, vo, meaning freedom, liberty, and do, meaning community. So voodoo is that which liberates a community. If there is voodoo, people facing challenges can find freedom from misery. If there's voodoo, there's order and no injustice. It restores balance so everyone can enjoy their rights and their liberty. These voodoos are not dead objects. They are living beings, and their opinions matter in deciding what happens next. And through Ifa divination and the magic mirror, we gave these voodoos a chance to speak for themselves. What did the voodoos say? Follow for part 3 to hear the voodoos' response.